those 3 W's, not knowing those things and knowing those things can drastically change your life. And I just think about myself because I want to self-deprecate and encourage you based off of my life. I want to use myself, put myself up on the platform and say, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this young 17-year-old kid who ended up going to prison and doing a 14-year sentence, ended up doing 6 years and 8 months of that sentence. And it's like I had this point in my life where I had to figure out those 3 W's. Who I want to be, where I want to be, and when do I want to get there. And that concept and that understanding, that I knew that I needed to have vision for my life in order to have success in relationships, in order to have success in communication with others, in order to have success in business, because I knew the Lord wanted me to be a successful businessman, to be a faith-based example of a young black, successful, faithful, like wearing Jesus on my shoulders. Like, you know that it's about God when you talking to me. You know what I'm saying? You know that I'm not afraid to like a lot of people are, to say the name of Jesus when it comes to a business, because you think that they may cancel you. You know what I'm saying? But there's this mentality that you have to have vision. You have to have vision, or the things that you're doing are not going to last long. Set goals and be determined to reach those goals, because you can't be determined to reach a goal that you haven't set. It's like, write it down. They're only ideas when they're in your brain, when you're brainstorming and trying to think about things, and you think about all these businesses you want to start, you think about all these things you want to do, you think about all these places you want to go, you think about how you want to be married, you think about how you want to have kids, you think about how you want to have land, you think about how you want to have this and that, but you don't have a who, when, and where. You don't have those 3 W's determined and decided, so you really don't know who you are. You really don't know when you're going to get there. You don't really know where you want to be. And this is a very, very simple principle. This is a very, very simple concept, that without vision, things, people, relationships, businesses, anything you're doing, health, whatever it is, perish. Without vision, things, people, businesses, relationships, anything that you're doing, anything in existence in this life perishes.
Bringing all the doubt and all my fears, all tangled up, caught in all of the lies. I'm searching for the missing piece, looking for a song to sing, to calm this heart inside of me. Oh, it's the love you are, so unconditional to me, deeper than any star, higher than any star I reach. Oh, it's the love you are. And wind in the sail. I need you, and oh God, I always will, 'cause it's the love you are, to calm this heart inside of me. But I found everything that I'll ever need, yeah. Deep inside you won't ever leave. Now I hold my head high, I can see, yeah. Oh, it's the love you are, so unconditional to me, deeper than any star.
We built this little mini barn here out of dog kennels. It's pretty amazing. Oh, spider, get back, spider. But yeah, it's pretty amazing. If I can get through the spider webs. But you can see right here is the foundation for these kennels. It was a 10 by 10 dog kennel here, and a 10 by 10 dog kennel here. And we used the frame that we had left over. And then we put a pole in here and ran boards. We framed them out and ran boards from one to the other and made another 10 by 10 section. So this barn is 10 by 30. We call it the mini barn. And this was our first barn on the property. And these pieces of wood here, I actually repurposed these. They had a chicken coop that they had built, the nicest chicken coop that I ever seen in my life. And they were tearing it down because it had started to rot on the bottom boards. And so I got this material, this siding here, because they had some left over from their house today. They had a log cabin and they put some on the chicken coop, and also this roofing tin. So I got all this stuff for free. I think I bought maybe a couple boards for framing it out, but it was minimal cost. Even this pole right here was repurposed. So everything in this whole barn, except for a few things, is all repurposed. And this is our first barn that we had on this property. And I actually have a wood stove in here, in this section right here, that one day I'm gonna restore. Because our first 2 or 3, maybe even 4 wood stoves, because the one we have in our house now, we bought brand new. But the first 2 or 3 wood stoves that we had, because we had a wood stove in our house that we had in the city. And we also, I put a wood stove in grandma's house that she had in the city. And there was another wood stove that I put in for a lady that needed a wood stove. I put that in for free for her as well. We found that wood stove and restored it. And so I bought this one as well with the plans to restore it as well. Let's see if I can get around to the front. No, I'm not gonna go. Where did this spider go? Yeah, I'm not going through there. You guys are gonna have to trust me, but it's a nice wood stove, nice solid wood stove. All I need to do is sand it down and paint it, and it'll be ready to sell. But yeah, it's amazing. Just coming down here and remembering some of the things that we did early on in this journey. This is a beautiful thing. Completely out of repurposed material. Like even these posts here, repurposed. These posts here, all of these boards, repurposed. I bought the cattle panels, but all of these T-posts, as you can see, repurposed. And that was how we got started farming. All of these posts, repurposed. And yeah, it's just a beautiful thing. Yeah, we had a business selling dog kennels, and we transitioned from selling dog kennels. It was called I.A.G Kennels, and we transitioned from I.A.G Kennels to I.A.G Farms. And that was the vision, that everything was gonna be all about God. I love it, whether we're selling dog kennels, raising animals, no matter what we're doing. Before you take another step, before you roll out of your bed, before you pull out of your driveway headed to work, before you do anything, you need to figure out these 3 things: who you want to be, where you want to be, and when you want to get there. Because if you don't know those 3 things right there, you don't have vision. And this is a very, very simple principle. This is a very, very simple concept, that without vision, things, people, relationships, businesses, anything you're doing, health, whatever it is, perish. Without vision, things, people, businesses, relationships, anything that you're doing, anything in existence in this life perishes. Welcome to another episode of I.A.G episode trailers and sneak peeks, preacher booze. Clearly, I got it on my mind today. I got a little bit of something on my heart today. And I feel as if sometimes we roll out of bed not knowing who we are. I feel like when we pull out of the driveway headed to work, we don't know where we want to be in 3 years. We don't know where we want to be in 5 years. We don't know where we want to be in 10 years. We don't know where we're, and I feel like as we go throughout our day, we don't know when we want to get there. Those 3 W's, not knowing those things and knowing those things, can drastically change your life. And I just think about myself because I want to self-deprecate and encourage you based off of my life. I want to use myself, put myself up on the platform and say, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at this young 17-year-old kid who ended up going to prison and doing a 14-year sentence, ended up doing 6 years and 8 months of that sentence. And it's like I had this point in my life where I had to figure out those 3 W's. Who I want to be, where I want to be, and when do I want to get there? And that concept and that understanding, that I knew that I needed to have vision for my life in order to have success in relationships, in order to have success in communication with others, in order to have success in business, because I knew the Lord wanted me to be a successful businessman, to be a faith-based example of a young black, successful, faithful, like, wearing Jesus on my shoulders. Like, you know that it's about God when you talking to me. You know what I'm saying? You know that I'm not afraid to like a lot of people are, to say the name of Jesus when it comes to a business, because you think that they may cancel you. You know what I'm saying? But there's this mentality that you have to have vision. You have to have vision, or the things that you're doing are not going to last long. I can guarantee you. And so I just really want to encourage you on today's sneak peek, on today's exclusive, before we get into the actual sneak peek, or on this preacher boo, sneaker preacher. You know what I'm saying? I really want to encourage you on this, to not roll out of the bed until you answer those 3 questions. To not, like, as you're warming your car up in the morning to go to work, to not go to work until you answer those 3 questions. Who I want to be, where do I want to be, and when do I want to get there? Set goals and be determined to reach those goals, because you can't be determined to reach a goal that you haven't set. It's like, write it down. They're only ideas when they're in your brain, when you're brainstorming and trying to think about things, and you think about all these businesses you want to start, and you think about all these things you want to do. You think about all these places you want to go. You think about how you want to be married. You think about how you want to have kids. You think about how you want to have land. You think about how you want to have this and that and that, but you don't have a who, when, and where. You don't have those 3 W's determined and decided. So you really don't know who you are. You really don't know when you're going to get there. You don't really know where you want to be. And so I really want to encourage y'all to establish those things. In other words, I want you to do what it says in the book of Proverbs. I want you to establish vision in your life, so that the things in your life that you value won't die. But so the things in your life that you value, because if without vision things perish, what happens when you apply vision to those things? They come alive. They get a pulse. Do-do, do-do, do-do. It's like every time you write something down and you make a plan. Do-do, do-do, who, do-do, do-do, when, do-do, do-do, where. And those things, you will see that those things will slowly, little by little, begin to establish themselves. And I'm like I say, take me, put me up on the stage, and then let's self-deprecate. Let's assess this situation. I'm someone who, according to the statistics, according to the numbers, according to the stats, according to everything that is labeled, for somebody like me, I'm someone who should not have success. I'm someone who should have my hand out begging. You know what I'm saying? But because of these, because I know who I am, because I know where I want to be, and because I know when I want to get there, because I have set clear goals and I have established vision to those things and given those things life. But instead of me having my hand out begging, I have my hand out to give. You know what I'm saying? I have so much abundance. I have so much overflow because I'm minding my own business, like the Bible says. It says, I think it's in the book of Timothy, or it's either Titus. It was Paul's words to one of those young preachers. But it says, aspire to live a quiet. It's actually in Thessalonians, First and Second Thessalonians. I was mistaken. But it says, aspire to live a quiet and a peaceful life. And it says, working with your hands, minding your own business. I've always said, because when you hear that word, mind your business, you think that it's talking about not getting into other people's business. No, when it says mind your business, it implies that as well. But it also implies not to not to just get in other people's business, but to like actually, it's talking about entrepreneurship. It's talking about having your own business, working with your hands, like working for yourself. Like that was just a common thing back in that day. But nowadays, that's like a special thing. Like the thing that you do now is you go work for another company. You go work under someone else's name. You put on the badge of someone else. And part of doing that, you have to sell part of your soul, part of your mind, your will, and your emotions. And so Paul was telling these young preachers, these young ministers, to mind your own business so that you will have freedom to minister and preach the gospel, so that you don't have to put someone else's badge or name tag on your chest and say, well, I can't do this or I can't do that because I got this name on my chest right now. So after I take this, after 9 to 5 is over with, then I can do this. I can talk about Jesus. I can do that. But it's like, when you're locked in, knowing who you are, establishing the principles, establishing the things that the Lord is telling you to do, the Lord's name is the badge that's on your chest. And so I'm just encouraging y'all today. And I know y'all are enjoying the videos. Y'all enjoyed the last video that we did, which was getting back into beast mode. And part of getting back into beast mode is conversations like this, because when I roll out of the bed in the morning and I'm in beast mode, I can't just go through the motions. I have to have a clear, defined status of who I want to be today, where I want to be, and when I want to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to have those goals established so I can understand what I need to be doing today, how I need to be doing it, and when those goals need to be set and established. Otherwise, the things that I'm trying to do are going to die. They're not going to live. They're not going to have life. But if I put a little bit of vision, if I put a plan to those things, I'm not talking about just ideas, not just in your brain. Like these things start as head knowledge, but they need to get past head knowledge to you actually like writing it down, to you actually writing it down, to you actually making a plan, to you actually putting your ideas in a position to where you can execute those ideas. And they're not just things that you talk about. A lot of people like to just talk about stuff. A lot of people just like just talk. You know, they like just talk and they don't like to do anything. But the Bible calls us to not be just hearers of the word, not just talking about it in word and in tongue, but to execute in deed and in truth. So I encourage you today, as I get ready to count y'all down for this sneak peek of us day 2 of working on the house again from back from vacation. And as y'all know, we really enjoyed our vacation. We're fresh, we're ready to roll, and I'm ready to get this house done and painted. And I have this goal to get the house painted within the next couple weeks, and to get the house skirted before the first freeze comes in, and to start on this porch build and have this porch build finished by the time springtime comes. Now, every time we set a goal, that doesn't necessarily mean that we're guaranteed to accomplish it. Sometimes I may blow my own mind and accomplish it early. Sometimes I may be hindered a little bit and accomplish it a little bit late. But if I set that goal, eventually that goal is going to be accomplished. That thing is going to have life, because without vision, things perish. But with vision, with the plan, knowing who you are, where you want to be, and when you want to get there, knowing those things are guaranteed to bring life to any situation. So I want y'all to be in a position where you can execute, where you can do and not just say, where you can execute, where you can do and not just think, where you can execute, where you can do and not just have ideas, but you can have plans that you can establish. And we had a family meeting last week, and I end y'all here and there do the countdown. But we had a family meeting that last week, and we talked about the plans that we make, and we talked about how we don't have an art of business, but our plans are the artery of our business. An artery is something in your body that takes oxygenated blood and it takes it to the rest of your body so the parts of your body can have life. And then the veins, they take that oxygenated blood, or the blood that has been used up all of the oxygen, and the veins take that blood back to your heart. So this process can go back, and the heart gives it oxygen again and then pumps it back through the arteries. And when we make plans, those are the arteries of our business, not the art, but the arteries of our business, the arteries of our life, the arteries of our faith. And the heart is God. And when we make a plan, like they say, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. And when we make a plan, it becomes the artery of our life, or whatever we're trying to do. In our case, we were talking about business. When we make a plan, it becomes the artery of our business, and it could it becomes the artery of our business, and it connects us to the heart, or to God, and he's able to pump life into all of the parts that those arteries are distributed to. But with that being said, y'all execute, understand those 3 W's, and I guarantee you that you'll have success in whatever area you're trying to have success in, whether that's relationship, whether that's business, whether that's work, whether that's family, whether that's health, whether that's whatever that may be, you'll have success. So with that being said, I'm gonna count y'all down for today's sneak peek, and we'll see y'all in the morning at 7 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time for the full length version of today's sneak peek. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, y'all enjoy, and we'll see y'all in the morning. The other day, I just walked outside and you just came up and hugged me. And, I can tell you had been just walking around looking at the house.
I have been. I was just walking around and getting excited. You were starting back work on the house, and I was just looking at...
Fresh from that vacation.
Right. And I was looking at all we had accomplished, all you had done so far. And, you know, it's just kind of welling up in me. How excited I am. How, you know, wonderful everything looks.
Don't beat me up,
Oh yeah, for real. It's like, okay, what do you think you're doing?
I'll just take a step.
What you gonna do now? Can't quite get his leg up. And then what? Oh, okay. You have a plan.